hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you are in. We are so happy to be back again on this Saturday group live with my business partners. And today, guys, we are so excited because we are bringing a guest. And stay with us. Grab your coffee or whatever drink you would like, get some chips or popcorn, and watch us until the end because I know for sure you would like what this person is going to share with us tonight or today. Your time. Before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Catherine. I am a mom, a wife, an aunt, a grandma. I'm a full-time church employee and at the same time a proud business owner. Irene, take it away.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yes, thank you so much for coming here again. And yeah, my name is Irene. I'm a mom of two young boys. I am an EC teacher. That's my full-time job. And yes, I'm a proud part-time digital business owner. And yes, I'm so blessed and grateful to be here.
All right, Judith, introduce yourself. Judith, can you
Can
hear
you
us?
hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning from my side. Thank God it is morning here, and I'm great from Australia. I'm a mom of five, and a,
Oh, connection's bad.
a grandma. Can you hear me
Can hear you.
It's a bit
Just
flat.
connections
or
tough.
not? Uh,
Okay, she's getting cut off. I think it's your
five
connection.
widow and alone. I lost my husband in the war. I'm a carer by profession.
Thank you, Irene and Judith. And as I have mentioned earlier, we have a guest tonight, and his name is Justin. He's by profession, he's a nurse, but that's not what's important. Well, it is important, him being a nurse and in a healthcare profession, but there is a story behind few months back that he is going to share with us. And Dustin, would you like to introduce yourself? And while you're at it, tell us your story before you become an online business owner.
Yeah, for sure. Well, number one, thanks you guys for having me tonight. It's always a pleasure doing these kind of interviews. For me, as you had said, I have been a cardiac nurse for 16 years. Um, just like everybody else, just had the normal life, went to school, got a degree, started my nursing career in 2009. Probably halfway through my nursing career, I went back to school again and got a management degree because I wanted to kind of add that to my nursing, but never used it. Just continued nursing all along. And then as years progressed, I felt like I was missing out on the regular family time. That was a big thing for me. Always sleeping during the day, away from family all the time, missing out on holiday time, just never really being able to spend time with my family. I felt like I was always away from them, especially on holidays. That was the only time that I felt like I could be with them. But even then, it was so hard to have time off, right, and be with my family. Unfortunately, 4 years ago, I did lose my father. So that was a big thing for me where I needed to find something that was on the online space that could make an income from home or anywhere in the world because our business is global. And I needed to kind of slowly, move away from a nursing career and do something a little bit more full time to be able to spend more time with my family. It was a big, important thing for me. So that's when I stumbled across this business 6 years ago, and the rest is kind of history. So, my very first year in this business, I did make six figures. So I made $170,000 my very first year doing this business. I took like some time away, and that's the beauty of this business, is that you can kind of step away from the business as well. That's the time that I lost my father. And then I came back, and now fast forward to 2025, I am debt free at 39, and I just quit my nursing career in April of this year because of this business. So I no longer nurse. I just do this business full time. And that's the beauty of this, right? So, this is my full time thing. I invest a lot of time and effort into my business. However, I'm able to kind of do the things that I've wanted to do for a long period of time. My mom's just down the street, so I can go visit her anytime. I was in Mexico in March. I was just in San Diego. I'm going away here again next month. I'm going somewhere next weekend. Those are the things that you can kind of do with your life when you are your own boss. And that's the beauty of this business. So again, that's kind of where I'm at now.
Wow, I cannot imagine me down the road being like Dustin. From California to Mexico. Like, wow, you're a jet setter, Dustin. You're loving it?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what the premises of the business, right? And that's the beauty of it, that you can take your business anywhere, you can do your business anywhere. And that's kind of what we have here. And that's the luxury of our business, right? So that's why there are so many people diving into the online space. That's why there's so many people looking for a change. We know right now with the economy and how crazy expensive things can be, we always need that plan B, right? We always need an extra income. So when I began, this was my plan B, but it's become my plan A, which is the beauty of this, right? So this is what I do now full time.
Irene, you have any question for Dustin?
Yes, congratulations, Dustin. That's really awesome. And you inspired us with your story.
Oh,
Yeah, so
thanks.
my question is that what is that one habit or a mindset you picked up after you started this business that you did not expected?
Oh goodness. Yeah. I really, to be honest, I had a very bad negative mindset for a majority of my life. I'm kind of looking back. I was one to quit really early. I had a fear of failure. But I would always kind of go down that path of failure. So I would start something and I would always quit, right? I would start something new and I would quit. Like I remember before I started nursing school, I remember going to school for different degrees. So I started a business school and then I quit. I started personal training and then I quit. And then I started another education and then I quit. Like you name it, I probably put money and investment and time into it because I always thought I was just going to fail. So what was the point? And so I carried that, attitude for a long period of time, even into my business. I was surprised that I actually started because I was very scared of starting. I was in that time frame of when I began my business, I was going to school full time because I was getting my master's. And on top of that, I was also doing homework and then trying to, build my business, but then also had family. So I was trying to do the flexibility of all those things at the same time. However, I just didn't see my life going anywhere. I thought I was going to fail. I thought I was just like, what's the point? There's no point of this. I'm not going to get through this. This business, I'm putting a lot of time and effort into the business, but it's probably not going to go anywhere. That was my mindset for the longest time. And even when I achieved such, a high amount of income in my very first year, there was no real pride in it. There was no real, okay, yeah, I'm amazing. This is so good. I should be grateful for this. It's just, I thought that I was failing anyhow. I always had that pressure myself that even what I achieved, what I needed to achieve and wanted to achieve, I thought in my brain that I was failing anyhow. So, fast forward to the beginning of this year, I really started focusing on my mindset and really diving into the fear and where that fear came from and why I was such a fear of failure. Not a fear of failure, but also kind of that person that didn't really take pride in my achievements. When I fast forward or when I kind of go back in life, I was never one to have family to be there supporting me and being like, go Dustin, we're here for you, go and get it. So that was a real struggle for me is, looking at, my achievements and taking pride in those achievements because I was always told I was going to fail anyhow. That it was like ingrained in me as such a small kid that I was going to fail. And I looked at everybody else around me and they were being so successful and doing all those things. And so I just thought I wasn't good enough. And I think there is a dynamic in most of us, where we are in life, we always have that fear of not being good enough or fear of failure. I think it's a thing in this world and society that a lot of people have that fear of not being good enough or fear of failure. And so, sorry, going back to this January, I really had to hone in on myself and look at where is this coming from? What's the core wound or what's the root cause of this fear? And why do I feel like I'm going to fail at everything? And it was only literally in 2025 that I started doing that. And so, for me, I wanted to quit my business several times. I wanted to quit nursing several times. I just thought, what's the point of this? It's kind of sad to say, but I've kind of lived a lot of my life that way. And so starting this year in January, I was kind of like, I have to really dig deep into where this is coming from. And so that's when I started going into Aaron Ness, gratitude, making gratitude list every morning, kind of meditating a little bit and kind of digging into my core wound and kind of finding out where this fear has come from and really reprogramming it and telling myself I am good enough, knowing that I can, achieving little small goals along the way so that when I actually achieve a small goal, I take pride in that. I don't need validation from other people because I do validation within myself. And I'm still trying to get to the point where I celebrate those small wins because I'm not used to celebrating big wins. So it's trying to kind of get to the place where I celebrate along the way because realistically, I just really want to validate myself and know that fear of failure or fear of not being good enough is only something that's been kind of instilled in me as a child. It's not really who I am. And so I'm still a work in progress, but I definitely have come a far way since January. I don't really get kind of off put by being scared of losing my business or wanting to give up or wanting to give in or not feeling good enough and taking pride in my achievements and really honing in on my mindset. And that's kind of where that shift kind of took place.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that. Really, in this kind of business, it's very important that we honed into our mindset, that we focus on the positivity instead of the negativity, because that is what's going to make help us get through with what we are going through. So, Judith, do you have any question for Justin?
She might
You're
be
on
muted.
mute, Judith.
Okay.
Judith.
Yes.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Justin, what made you realize that nursing while neighbors wasn't going to give you the life you realize wanted? You really want. Did you hear that?
Yeah. So, like, what point did I realize that nursing wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, kind of thing? Was that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it was a big eye opener where it's not that I didn't want to do nursing. I still love nursing. If I ever go back, it probably at some point where I do something very easy like cosmetic nursing. I've always found my love and passion in nursing, even though I felt I wasn't good enough. There was still something that was there about me being a compassionate person and a giving person and showing up for other people. But I really kind of felt like I really needed to show up for myself. Realistically, kind of going back to April when I walked away from my nursing job, I got a pension. Obviously, I can't pull it out until I'm 65, but it really showed me at that point what I'm able to pull out at a monthly basis when I turn 65. And the only amount of pension that I'm going to get when I hit 65 is $700 a month. So that was a big eye opener for me that I felt like at this point I'd made the right choice to kind of walk away from nursing, because I'm really investing my time and energy and effort into somebody else. And here I am, at 39, great. I'm able to kind of invest in myself now and instill a life for myself. Furthermore, when I hit 60 or 65, I have that set up for me. But I mean, realistically, when I go back, what's $700 a month? That's not even enough to buy groceries nowadays with our economy, right? So that was a big thing where I felt like at that point I made the right choice from walking away from nursing because, again, I'm working so hard. I was burnt out. I was missing it on so much for what? At that point, it was like, for what? Yeah, I was a paycheck. Yeah, I was, I had the job security. But realistically, nowadays, there's no job security anywhere. You realistically got to work for yourself because you have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. So that's where I kind of take pride in the business that I have and what I'm doing here because really, you look at what's going on in America right now with people, being laid off from their jobs in San Diego and San Francisco. We have so many nurses that just got laid off. And so, it's like I feel like it was the good decision and a good choice to kind of walk away. But when I kind of look back, it was a big thing for me where I felt like I was, after I lost my father, that was a big thing for me where I'm like, I never got to see him very often. I never got to spend a good amount of time with him. And so there's a little bit of regrets. And I didn't want to take that moving forward into my life where I don't get that, time with my mom or time with my niece and nephew or time with my brother, because realistically, life is short and you have no idea what tomorrow is going to bring. And so I needed to kind of live in the now. And so that was a big thing for me.
Well, that is really very touching,
That's
Dustin.
very great.
But how
Mm.
does your life feel now compared to the days as a full-time nurse? I know you mentioned earlier about you traveling, no restrictions, but if you compare that 9 to 5 job, and especially um, with you in this business now and being successful, what how do you compare it? What is the one thing that you think you're enjoying now that you cannot do while you were still a nurse?
I think it's the time freedom is the big thing. I couldn't do that. The financial freedom is a bonus for sure, but it's realistically the time freedom. I think for me at this point, I couldn't do, I was literally felt like I was like in survival mode on day to day. So some days I didn't even feel like I could be present, even if I, let's say, went to visit my mom. After a stretch of working 5 nights, I'd be there, but I wasn't fully present because I was tired or like going off of 4 or 5 hours of sleep or even 3 hours of sleep. Or I look back at some holidays and like there's Christmases that have passed by and I'm like, I don't even remember them because I was just in survival mode. And so these moments now, being away from my nursing career, as much as I loved it, but now I feel like I'm fully present and fully there and fully aware when I'm with my family or even with my friends or even just showing up on a day to day. I feel like I'm able to kind of show up more often now for myself than I was able to before.
Okay, this
Mm.
question is for my three business partners, ladies, Irene, Juliet, and Judith. What stood out to you from Dustin's story?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share mine. What really, when Dustin mentioned about how his mindset really helped him to really move forward, even though to realize that having the success, you have to like appreciate it and welcome it, like own it. And he mentioned about a community that really helped him to understand and accept that. I mean, how to say that? Like adapt it inside his heart. And now, 2025, he mentioned he's starting to have that mindset, appreciating, because before he is like I can relate with that. Like I don't celebrate that much. Like I know, is it I'm good enough, or is it I deserve it, like something like that. But with the community, it really helped me. He helped me to like Dustin mentioned about morning routine with Coach Aranette, and this has been have been helping me so much as well. And yeah, we are going to that together with Dustin, and it's been the mindset is very very important, and that's helped me also to really own my business. Because before, like I'm scared, I'm shy, a bit shy to share my business people, right? Like I don't own it fully in me. But since attending our convention, meeting those people who are really successful and help us to really show us that we have to appreciate even the small things, the small wins that we have. And that mindset was really, I'm really working on that as well. So yeah, thank you, Dustin, for really sharing that, because it is really our mindset is our I remember what our coach coach Aranet, it's 90% mindset, and the 10% is the strategy. So having that mindset of appreciating what's really very important in our business, in our life, in our, like mention Dustin mentioned about the time freedom, having that time with his parents. It's really that's very important. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's for me.
Judith,
Thank you.
what stood out to you from Dustin's story?
Yeah, yeah, like from Justin's story, it really touched me, and that is one of the things myself too. I'm working on it every day in a daily basis. I'm trying to work on it. One is the mindset. First of all, English is not my first language. And secondly, what Justin went through, I went through. Like our story is almost to be similar because coming into this country, a widow with 5 children, and you raise them, you work tirelessly, there's nothing into your account. At the end of the day, you have nowhere to go. Things become very complicated. As I lost my job during COVID, and I have to go and work in the farm. From there, I became ill, and the doctor said, "Don't work." So what are you going to do? You know. So when God brought me into this business, to put my mind going to start it. Who is going to help me outside there? It's my first time. I don't have I'm not computer tech. I'm not in the social media. How will I start this? So from there now, I'm almost a year. I'm almost a year and a half into this business. So I have to learn. I have to start, through the community. I have to start changing my mind. I have to really change my mind, asking myself, if I don't put my mindset there, who is going to help me? Who is going to do this business for me to be able to retire well? Eh? I'm now
Yeah.
I'm now 55. How am I going to retire? How my life will be? Being a widow, what will I leave for my children and my grandchildren? These are all the questions going around me. But I'm so happy that now, through the training, bit by bit, I'm changing my mindset. I'm changing my mind. I'm starting morning routine, because if you really want something, for sure, like Justin said, you need to start by yourself. You start mindset, then you look into what you really want. Because if you want something and you don't change that mindset, it will not come. It will really not come. So for me, I realized that it's starting to change my mindset. It gives me positivity to keep going into this business. While knowing that at the end of the day, I will be able to achieve my goal, because I never
Yeah.
celebrate anything. And I have two people who come after me. And now, if I'm reaching them, they don't even answer. They don't even say anything. But I say thank you. You know, like Tina always saying, I give gratitude for myself every single day. Even though I have nothing, I will continue. At this time, I would have quit because a year and a half now, I did not celebrate anything major. I did not have anything. Even people who come behind me, they just keep quiet. Even to say hello, sometimes they don't even answer me. So I have to keep going. I have to change my mindset. And by the grace of God, I will achieve everything that um, I've started. So finger
I was
cross.
touched when Dustin said he was there but never present. And I think with us very busy, not just us, but I think all of us will agree that we are all guilty with that one. He was there but never present, and I am
Yeah.
guilty with that in so many times. I'm there, but yeah, I just have to do this because I need to do this. But really, in reality, it's just all a check list that we would do. So,
Yeah.
Juliet, I know you came in a little bit late, but I'm not sure how much you've heard about the sharing that Dustin did. Do you have anything that you caught that kind of make an impact to you of what Dustin had shared?
Yes. Thank you. Hello to everybody. Yeah, so I'm very happy to be among you. So when I started my business, my online business, I did not know well about what to do to make my business to go to grow up until I joined the 6A group before I started my business newly. So I was having 2 months or 3 months, but I was not even knowing how to do what to do very well because people did not explain to me well. It's when I joined this 6A and Beyond group that I started knowing what to do, how to do it. So I'm very grateful to this group, first of all. So since as I've joined the group, I've heard from our people who have started a business before us, how they have succeed, what they have done, what was their strategy. So I'm trying now to apply it, and also I'm referring to the training that I have to go on with my online business every day. So my training and the advices of people who have been in this business online before us, that I try to apply every day. And today I'm proud of me because all those lessons that I've heard, I'm trying to apply it. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Juliet. Yeah, yeah, I know it is nice that we have a community that really help us move forward, keep moving forward. So yeah, Justin, what can you? Thank you so much. Yeah, this is my our last question. What can you say to our viewers after about our business?
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I mean, it's number one. When I join groups like this, it's really nice to see how global the business really is and how we come from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds. I really love that piece of our business, right? And you can kind of tap into people's demographics and who they truly are and their background in their life because we all come from a different lifestyle, right? We all come from a different background. So you can kind of see how we all are looking for a change. We all are looking for a way out somehow, some way, right? And I love to kind of see the positivity of, nothing's going to stand in my way. I'm going to achieve it, because for me, so many times, not only in my business, but in life itself, I just wanted to give up on my nursing career or my business or whatever else, because again, like I talked about, just having that fear of failure, right? And so that is a big thing for me is just realistically not giving up, really find that mindset and hone in on your strengths, but not only your strengths, but hone in on your weaknesses because, it's important to have that balance of both. Where's your strengths and utilize those, right? And then what are your weaknesses and utilize those weaknesses to grow them to your strengths as well, right? Because we're all unique, we're all different. And so we want to be able to use those, so also if you're like, somebody who's looking for a change in your life and you want to change, but you're kind of wondering, what is this business? Well, the beauty of this business is, like some of us had said here, we didn't come with any experience. We didn't come with any business experience, marketing experience, advertising experience, utilizing the online space, utilizing, a laptop or Wi-Fi or whatever. But that's the beauty of our business, is that everything is so step by step for you and everything is so guided for you to learn. Everyone can benefit from a business or benefit from an income of some sort, right? Like a plan B, it's always good to have a plan B, especially now. And I think another thing would be is just, if you're kind of watching but you're not really sure of what to do, you're kind of sitting in that fear. I always encourage people to take that leap of faith, because realistically, what do you have to lose when it comes to something different? The unknown is, yes, scary, but we're the only people who are holding ourselves back, right? It's not John Doe and it's not your parents and it's not your children. It's you yourself that's holding you back. And around that unknown can be something that is beautiful for you, right? But until you take that first step, you're not going to know. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, Justin. Yes, it's true. So thank you so much for joining us, and it is a beautiful story. I know our viewers get inspired. We are inspired with your story, and it is it like you said, the change depends on us, and it is us who will really have that take that action. So yeah, we don't want to keep you long. I know you're so busy, and yes, thank you, Juliet. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Catherine. This is an amazing episode that we are doing every week, every weekend, and I hope it bless our viewers. So yes, thank you so much.
May I just add for
Thank
our
you so
viewers, if you are curious of what we are talking about, you see five of us here in front of you on the screen, and you can connect to any of us. And just send us a message if you want to learn more about it. Or if you want, you can also attend our webinar every Tuesdays and Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Just Google the whatever time conversion that is, but that's every Tuesday and Thursday. And again, that's complimentary, no questions asked, there's no selling, no whatsoever. Just attend that and see for yourself if this business is right for you. So, everyone, thank you and good night, and we will see you again next week for another episode of our group. Thank you so much.
thank,
Bye bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
thank,
Bye.
Bye bye.
thank you.